STMK Radio 100. You're listening to Stop the Madness, Keep It 100 with your host, Sean L., Let, and Tone the Stone on STMK Radio 100. 100.
Yes, this is a PSA, a public street announcement. You are now listening to a kickback production. Light up your L's, lean back, and listen.
Good evening and welcome. Tonight on Stop the Madness, Keep It 100, we're going to go over this week's news. We're going to talk about Jeff Johnson court case that they're trying to put him out the 57 mayoral race. We're going to talk about our Cleveland Cavaliers in their first round of the playoffs, making history when they did that, Doug. You know that, right? They made history on that 26-point comeback, the biggest comeback in NBA history. We're going to go live to First Energy Stadium, and we're going to be in Philadelphia simulcasting and podcasting at the NFL Experience for the NFL Draft Party. Then we're going to do what we always do. We're going to go over Trump's world. And it may be a good night for one of our hometown boys. Menor Cardinal may be celebrating, and he may go in the first round on the draft. And we're going to talk about that later. But with me tonight, as always, sitting in the funny chair, holding up the world, my main man, Dougie Million. Player. What's up?
What up, y'all? What's going on?
Oh, see, he
I
always
ain't holding up the world, man. I'm
look
just
at
holding
you.
them calves
No,
up
we got
right now.
we got to. We ain't even gonna talk about your calves
I ain't
yet,
holding up the calves right now.
because we know what your calves is all about, baby. But the question on that,
Nah, y'all
we're
don't.
going to come back to that, because, I got a good question for him. You remember last week, everybody, how he jumped up on that thing? My boy was talking about this is, what you say, this was the land, come and get it, sit down.
Defend the land.
Okay.
Sit your ass
In the
down.
chat room, we got everybody coming into our chat room
Oh,
right
they on
now.
fire now.
They haven't.
Except for Chi-Town in Indiana, they in hiding.
They haven't fired up yet to tell us who's with us, but we welcome y'all in the chat room, because Chi-Town and Indiana and Paul Jones and all the rest of them, hey, thank you. Well, we're going to just kick it right on down the line right here, Doug, and we're going to go into this because we got to do our Trump world first. So Trump has nothing to show.
I got some good news before the Trump world. We got something special going
Go
on.
ahead.
We got something special going on.
Ahead.
What's up out there, y'all? From the producers of the Ice Capades, we present Garden Brothers Circus. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be your last chance to see live elephants at the circus. Everybody loves an
What?
elephant. This is going to be your last chance. They're going to be in Cleveland Sunday, May 7th at the Wolstein Center. And we also would like to thank the Garden Brothers Circus for their tickets for the kids. For our kids, we giving away tickets for the kids. That's right. You
Oh
can
yeah,
take your
yeah.
kids to the circus for free. Get you some cotton candy, some popcorn, some peanuts. And ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to the center ring. But this is going to be the last time. I got to say this one more time. This is going to be the last time because y'all know there is no longer, the other circuses are all going out of
No more
business.
elephants. No more circus.
No more live. Well, you know, Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey is done.
I
They
thought they just took the elephants in
no,
out.
no, 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 no.
They closed down.
Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey had their last show sometime this year. We don't even know if they're going to make it to Cleveland. But the people that brought you to Ice Capades are presenting the Garden Brothers Circus, and this is a family tradition for over 100 years. And this will be your absolute
Did you hear that, folks?
last chance to see circus with
Did you hear what he said?
elephants live. Your last chance. They're going to have food, so don't eat before you go because they're going to have plenty of food. They got a kids' fun zone. They're going to have pony rides. They're going to have a petting zoo. And at Cleveland, they're going to be right here in my city, in the land. They're going to be in Cleveland Sunday, May 7th at the Wolstein Center at 1 o'clock and again at 4 o'clock. You can contact them at 888-620.
No, don't contact them. No.
You don't want them to contact them?
No. Contact
Yeah,
STMK
you
Radio
definitely,
100
you
and
definitely,
get your free tickets.
you got to inbox us
Right,
at
inbox
STMK
us.
Radio 100
Right.
Facebook page if you want to get your free tickets for your kids. Now,
Right.
we got plenty of tickets to give away so your kids can go.
Right.
And Mom, get up off of it. Dad, get up off of it. Take
Right,
the kids
because
out.
we got tickets. We want to give you free tickets to the circus, STMK.
I'm going to be standing out
Radio
somewhere at the bus
100.
stop on my way to the next show giving away tickets for the free kids. I'm going to be at the bus stop for the RTA giving away tickets for the free kids. I ain't going to tell y'all which bus stop, so y'all got to
Right.
find me.
If you want free tickets to the circus, Sunday, May 7th, that's next Sunday
Next Sunday
at the Wolstein
at
Center.
1 o'clock and 4
At 1 o'clock.
Inbox us at STMK Radio 100 Facebook page if you want free tickets for
But
your
right,
kids.
right. Go to our Facebook page, as Doug just said. If you want free tickets for your kids, and I think there's an age on it. What's the age on
Yeah,
it?
the age limit is 2 to 13.
Okay, if you have a child that's 2 to 13 years old, we have free tickets to the circus. Inbox us on our Facebook page, STMK Radio 100 Facebook page, and tell us how many tickets you want for your kids, and we will send your
We
kids
make sure you get them.
the free tickets to the circus and make sure they get them. And everybody, this may be the last circus that you
No,
see.
this will be the last
okay.
circus.
This will be the
This
last
be
circus
the
you see.
absolute last circus where you will get to see live elephants because
Okay.
OSHA is stepping in and a lot of performances and things like that, especially with circuses, are no longer allowed to bring along elephants and tigers and lions. Oh my!
Welcome our social media outlets: Facebook Live,
What up,
YouTube
Facebook?
Live, SoundCloud. They
Yeah.
all coming in slowly but surely, and the chat room
Twitter,
is filling up right
Facebook.
now. We got 140
know they
people in the
is.
chat room, and they're going on it. Again, we got free tickets to the circus
tickets,
at
and
the
listen,
Wolstein
folks,
Center.
Don't be trying to look. This is not the drive-in, so don't be bringing your little 19-year-old and your 17-year-old. They got to be between the ages of 2 and 13. Don't be trying to sneak them in like you did at my house.
So if you want free tickets for your kids, go to Facebook page. If you're on Facebook, STMK Radio 100's Facebook page, inbox us, and we'll make sure that you get
call
those
Sean.
tickets.
Call Sean. He
Right.
got some tickets. Or
Go
catch
ahead,
me
call
at the
me.
bus stop. Catch me at the bus stop. I ain't gonna tell y'all which one, so y'all just gotta ride
So
around.
to move on before we go live to Philadelphia at the draft, let me
Oh,
just say
boy.
this right here. Our President Trump is in his 100 days in office. And
100,
and the poor baby has nothing to show for
98,
it.
99, 100.
Now, Trump has called for dramatic tax cuts for individuals and business. So far, President Trump wants to slash individual tax rates, cutting the top rate from 39.6% to 35. That's a big tax cut there. For
That
the
is,
for the
that is.
1%. They don't
Yeah.
pay no money anyway
Yeah,
now.
yeah. You know that's a huge tax cut.
And reducing the number of tax rates and the rates for 7 to 3. He also wanted to cut the top rate for all business to 15%. That's far below the top rate.
Now, is that for all business or is that just for big business?
All business.
All business, even the small business,
Any small business.
even the little bitty guys.
Even little guy, but there's only one problem there.
What's the problem?
They don't know how they're going to pay for it.
Mm.
Because you got the military going up with all their spending and everything.
Yeah.
So we're going to go also into the thing right there to tell everybody right here, welcome to our affiliate city in San Francisco for joining us on Stop the Madness.
San Fran.
San Fran in the house.
San Fran.
You know, last week we was talking about, we had the 2 shows on the police chases. Remember we had that show?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that later on down the thing.
Oh, boy.
Sax Man, if you out there, I want you to give us a call because that was one of the things we want to talk to you. And the chat room want to talk to you also.
I got a question. Sax Man, call up. I know you out there. I know you in the chat room. I know you peeking around the corner. Call in because I got a question.
Also, Eric Brewer, we still waiting for you to come on the show and give us that interview for your 57 Americana. Right, you know we want you to come on. We gonna give you a spot in the chair right there. We gonna let you sit in the funny chair and tell us what's up.
Man, you can sit right here where I'm at, you know, and you can sit right here.
In Trump world, we want to go ahead on, you know, the Ninth Circuit, and they talking about breaking down the Ninth Circuit.
Trump's
you know that.
Trump's world.
The judge is blocked for the 3rd time one of his executive orders.
Blocked it
Like
a field goal,
saying that sanctuary cities can no longer get funding. But I want to say this right here.
Whoa.
Yeah, he says he's not going to fund California. They're going to cut their funds.
Why come a sanctuary city can't get funded no more?
Well, a federal judge on Tuesday blocked the Trump administration from enforcing the threat to take away funds from sanctuary cities. The latest blow from the federal jurisdiction has really came down hard on Trump. So now he's talking about abolishing the 9th District Court because he said a bunch of liberals done gone crazy.
They done went crazy.
In making his ruling, what he's saying is Trump made a order on executive order. And I'm going to talk about these executive orders to everybody because when President Barack Obama was signing executive orders, all my Republican friends were screaming how that was in violation of the Constitution and he was bypassing Congress.
I bet you they ain't hollering about it now.
No, they say everything's okay now.
It's cool now.
Because
Trump
that's all he has in this 100 days. But anyway, what the judge is saying that the federal government cannot force cities and tell their police department how to work.
Right.
So what they was telling them was if you want some federal money, your police department's going to help us in immigration enforcement. If they don't, then we're going to pull your federal money. You're not going to get none.
What?
So that's, as California, one city in California said that would be about 45% of their budget and could have caused massive layoffs with first responders.
Arnold is not happy about that.
Secondly, we're going to go back over to the Oversight Committee came out today and last week, and this was really, really some big stuff. We want to thank Facebook Live for joining us. Lulu Marie from Atlanta is in the house.
Marie or Maureen?
Marie. ATL in the house. Welcome, ATL. Joining us.
ATL. What part of ATL?
Up there by Stone Mountain and
Stone
Lithia
Mountain,
Springs,
Gwinnett,
Georgia.
Yeah, Gwinnett County and Lithia Springs.
Douglas
Stone
County in the house.
Yeah, my county in the house.
Orlando, Florida. Welcome to Stop the Madness. They're in the chat room with us live. Our social media is firing up. And Michael Wilkins from Summer, California. Welcome.
What up, Cali?
Now, Donald Trump's national security advisor, Michael Flynn, remember we did that show?
Yeah.
And remember he said, lock her up.
Yeah.
And he said, anybody who asked for immunity, they must have broke the law.
Yeah.
Okay, now we know why he wanted immunity before he went before the Congress to tell his story.
He broke the law.
Not only that, he committed 7 felonies.
He took some money.
He took some money. Follow the money and the dead
boy.
Russians.
Oh,
President
boy.
Trump, national security advisor, did not properly disclose payments from Russia and may have broken the law to House Oversight Chairman Jason Chavez and the ranking Democrat Elijah Cummings said Tuesday after
you
reviews.
Republicans. They said may have.
No, he did. They just trying to be nice.
I'm trying to make them comfortable.
But you
may have.
But you know what they say. If they put in enough like they did with Hillary, Trump will be impeached and all his people will be in jail right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but see, it wasn't Pookie in them, so he may have.
A top Republican said, as a former military officer, you simply cannot take money from Russia, Turkey, or anybody else.
It's wrong.
And it appears that he took the money. It was inappropriate. and there's no repercussion for the violation of the law because you know why?
Why?
Republicans don't want to investigate.
And see, they probably got a videotape of him taking the money and talking about something he may have taken. He took the money. Ain't no may have to it.
You right about that. He took it.
Follow the checkbook.
Follow the dead Russians.
That's it. They took that one guy out on TV.
Wait a minute,
He'll never be able to tell about this.
Well, they just threw one off a patio last night.
They just threw one off the patio, man. Them
Last
Russians,
night.
boy, they get to drinking that vodka.
Remember what the FBI intelligence agent said? Follow the dead Russians.
That's it.
Okay, another thing is everybody need to worry about right now in Trump world. And welcome right now, Chicago in the house. Chi-Town came back. Chi-Town.
Oh, yeah, y'all need to
Mildred,
come on up in the house.
welcome.
Get on up in here.
Get up in here because we're going to come back to y'all in a minute.
Woo-wee.
U.S. and North Korea is in a high-stakes game of chicken and mouse right now.
Whatever.
Okay?
Whatever, man.
Kim Jong said he's going to carry out the largest military operation and mounting pressure from Trump. Now they talking about he's going to sink an aircraft carrier.
Oh, if he do that, man,
Okay.
this dude is lobbying for an ass whipping.
But the only problem I have with this, and I'm going to say this, welcome Dennis Hill for joining us. I just looked over and seen you on Facebook Live. Welcome. You know what, my man? You're going to have to come and sit in the chair because we got some law enforcement issues we want you to talk
Get
about.
on up in here, bro.
And as being ex-commander, and we could talk to you about, I know you don't mind giving us the secret, especially about the bikers, but we're going to talk about the bikers coming in a minute running through the city. Saxy man, we ain't forgot about you.
Sassy man, get on up in here. I got some questions.
Yeah, we got some big questions for you.
I got some
Saxy man.
questions. Ooh, I got some questions.
We got some big questions for you.
Questions.
So right now, everybody's sitting around asking that one question.
What?
Is that nut going to pull the switch?
Which one? Kim Jong-un?
That's the problem right now. We don't know.
Hey,
Well,
at least,
we don't know who the biggest fool is, but you
That's
have,
what I'm saying.
but you have,
Which one?
you have to look at this right here. The guy from North Korea
Kim Jong-un.
understands that this may be his last draw. You understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I
So-
mean, so
so
he just may.
He just
may pull the trigger.
Right. See, Trump threatening him and playing with him, but he ain't
just
playing.
may pull the trigger. See, Trump is unpredictable.
Now, the other thing we want to go to that you should know in the news before we move on down the line, a Berkeley County deputy was chasing a bike. They released
Berkeley County, not California.
South Carolina. The Berkeley County Sheriff Department just released the dash cam video of the fatal motorcycle pursuit. We have a statement from the AG, and we have a statement from the sheriff also.
Oh, boy.
The Berkeley County Sheriff's Office released dash cam video of a high-speed chase in their city last Wednesday, which started approximately at 11:51 p.m. when a deputy on patrol in College Park Road observed a motorcycle speeding 45 miles an hour in the 35-mile-an-hour zone and went left of center.
Okay, he went left to center. Because I was like 45 and a 35 for a bike. They
Right, then he went left to center. The deputy attempted to pull him over, which ensued in a high-speed
and
chase.
that's where our troubles began.
Right. Police dash cam video was released from the fatal incident this week showing Berkeley County Deputy James Vincent hitting a motorcycle with his cruiser and striking the motorcycle twice, causing the motorcyclist, 30-year-old Robert Lee Clark Jr., of Goose Creek to crash and was immediately killed. The deputy has been placed on leave. And per the sheriff department...
On leave? He wasn't fired and arrested?
No, he's on the
spot?
He's on administrative leave. But per the sheriff department...
I'm going to give me a police car.
The claim on the video does not match up to what the video shows. The sheriff department released a statement saying that the motorcyclist missed a gear, slowing his motorcycle down, causing the deputy to strike his vehicle.
The statement was released before the video.
Correct. Correct. Okay. Since the video, South Carolina State Attorney General says that the state police is investigating, and if it was shown that the deputy struck the motorcycle on purpose, causing the death of the motorcyclist, he could face charges of murder. If he was negligent, due to his speeds of going through the city at 119 miles per hour, striking
Whoa, whoa,
motorcyclists.
whoa, whoa! How we get from 45 miles an hour
Oh,
across the center lane to
oh,
119 miles an hour through the city?
yeah, they had a big chase.
Wait a
This was a
minute now,
pursuit.
and did somebody didn't get pulled over for that?
He
There wasn't no call saying
well,
stop chasing this guy at
no, no, no,
119
no,
miles an
nobody
hour.
got caught off. This is the problem right here. This is why we wish the police correspondent was here. But the high speed
Sassy, where you at?
he struck the motorcyclist. He bumped the motorcyclist at 90 miles an hour.
I know. Whoa, time out. How in the hell?
There you
Now
go.
listen to me, y'all. I'm okay. I'm a dumbass. How in the hell do you bump somebody at 90 miles an hour? I'm sorry, at 90 miles an hour, you can't tap, bump, or lean into somebody. Man, 90 miles an hour ain't no bumping nobody at 90 miles an hour.
So
What
in the coming weeks, people, in the coming weeks, we're going to come back to this trial because this is going to be the trial to
of
follow
the century.
because this is going to set the case on. The Supreme Court has already ruled that if a law enforcement officer hit somebody during a pursuit, he was liable. But if he didn't, he wasn't liable, and the police departments wasn't liable. Now we're going to see what is the dictation of police officers using the pit
In chat
maneuver.
room, y'all see my hand up. I got a question. Ain't it illegal for the police officer to do a pit maneuver on a motorcycle? You ain't supposed to touch him with the vehicle.
Well, in that county,
Hell, you gonna bump somebody at 90 miles an hour?
No, in that county you can do it because the sheriff says that it's illegal. Is by policy you not use your vehicle to pit somebody or strike a vehicle unless you get permission from a supervisor.
Okay, I understand that, but isn't it illegal and against policy to use the pit maneuver against the bike? Unless you use the absolute broadside of the car to like maneuver them off the road.
I don't think it's in good. I don't think it's in good conscience to use a car against anything on a motorcycle because the only thing gonna happen is somebody gonna lose their
Is this
life.
going to result in somebody
Losing their life.
dying?
Right. So we're gonna come back to that after the IG and the AG and everybody reports on that, and then we're gonna go right into United Airlines reporting a dragon incident, showing that they changed their policy. And we got a statement from United Airlines.
But they changed it a little bit too late.
Yes, they did.
Plus another incident happened.
But they just settled the lawsuit too.
Plus another incident happened.
They're going to look for that one too about the girl and the baby. I mean the stroller. Yes. But
United the airline not the stewardess, the flight attendant. I don't want to be misappropriated or impolitically correct. The flight attendant went off on the lady and the baby. How you going to go off on the baby in the stroller?
Well, if you fly United now and you have to give your seat up, they're going to give you $10,000 in traveler's certificates. And they would no longer ask you to give your seat up or force you to give your seat up if you board the plane unless it's an emergency.
Right. Well, this woman got paid. Her family got to fly first class to the rest of their destination. The flight attendant, y'all see the quotation marks, was removed from the plane, and she got vouchers, and she got a little dough.
Hey, now we're going to also go right here because this is the kicker part right here for the people in the city of Cleveland. Do you remember our CEO for the Cleveland Municipal Schools?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Barbara
Bird Bennett.
Is
on her way to a federal penitentiary.
Hold up. Wait a minute. She getting a Martha Stewart?
She's getting Martha Stewart.
She getting Martha. Hey, Barbara Bird, you better call up Snoop and Fitty and call up Martha, man.
You might get a job.
She gangster. She gonna show you how to get through that thing because Martha did some serious time on her neck, Jack. That's crazy.
Martha Stewart is getting ready to do a stretch.
Not Martha Stewart.
I mean, Barbara Bird Bennett. You got me saying Martha Stewart.
She gonna do a stretch. How long she get?
And yes, chat room, I see you in there asking. I got my throwback 1964 Jim Brown waiting for the draft with the Cleveland Browns. We're going to be broadcasting and simulcasting live.
Chicago a trip. I don't hear them saying nothing about the Cavs or they little squad.
We going right there.
They asking about the Browns. Don't worry about the Browns.
Well, everybody know about this draft day.
I know it's draft day. They all know about that.
But you have to look at this right here. The former leader of the Cleveland Municipal Schools, Barbara Bird Bennett, will be sentenced Friday on crimes she committed by taking bribes from a company that she supplied contracts to.
Whew.
So
It's
that
Friday. She ain't got nothing better to do.
nothing better to do.
She ain't got no job. Your ass going to jail.
Now, this is something right here that everybody was talking about in the chat room and everybody was discussing. Monday,
Mm-hmm.
week before Monday, we had the Facebook killing here in the city of Cleveland, and
Yeah,
we
that
went
was tragic.
we went to City Hall looking for answers to find out why the reverse 911 system was the code red system was never used.
And more so, why the mayor dropped the ball.
Right. And remember, Jeff Johnson and Kevin Conwell stood up in the council and said that he started a phone bank and he was going to pass a law on that. Remember all that?
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Johnson tried to jump on the bandwagon
Yeah,
and
he
answer
did.
questions.
Yeah, he did. They both attended the
Well,
funeral.
right now, we just going to go right into it, Jeff.
Get him.
We just going to
Get
go
him.
right into it. Someone see Jeff Johnson as a threat. That's why I wish Eric Brewer would kept his promise to come on the show.
I know, right?
Okay.
Right?
Because
You ain't got to be scared.
they must see Jeff Johnson as a threat because somebody came up and said and filed something in the common pleas court that Jeff Johnson couldn't hold office because of his conviction for extortion.
What?
But the way they tried to put it was that under the Ohio Revised Code and statute, anybody convicted of bribery
Mm-hmm.
couldn't hold office
Right. So
anymore.
extortion is different.
Right.
He didn't go in there and bribe him out the money. He extorted the money. That's a big difference.
So Cleveland,
Give me your dollars.
right? Cleveland Councilman Jeff Johnson is now facing a legal challenge, and the question is, can he hold office despite his conviction for extortion?
Well, the best of luck to you, brother.
The challenge was filed this week. To believe the first one, it's
Mhm.
got to be somebody for the mayor, okay? Because
Of course.
they're trying to use the statute saying of one man's bribery is another man's extortion.
Oh, bullshit.
Right. So that's basically what it is. So I do believe that the court, after talking to lawyers this week and sitting on a forum looking into this, I believe that the challenge itself has no merit because under the state statute, there's a statute for
Bribery and extortion is two different things.
Thank you.
Two different definitions and two different statutes.
Right. 2921.02 is the bribery statute, and it clearly states any person convicted of bribery, whether they have it expunged or not, could no longer hold a public office.
Right.
Okay. 2905.11 is the statute of extortion.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Jeff Johnson was charged under a federal charge of extortion, not bribery, and he was convicted on extortion, not
Mhm.
bribery. Okay.
So that's a big difference.
So it's a great big difference, and they're going to have to answer that question. Can he hold office? Now, I want to ask this
right
question
now,
right
he
here.
ain't holding. He's just running for it.
No, he's still got his
Yeah,
council
no, he
seat.
still
His,
got
his,
his
his
council
council
seat.
seat is at
Well, he
question
ain't
right
holding
now.
it. He's sitting in it.
Right, he's sitting in it.
Big difference.
So that's the question now. If the court say that this challenge is correct, he can lose both. But somebody sees the mayor, sees Jeff Johnson as the mayor, challenger with the mayor.
Let me think who that might be.
And we ranked the 57 mayoral candidates all the way down. And I'm going to say this again right here. Eric Jonathan Brewer is the number one contender for one reason and one reason only. He's going to take it to the mayor on the issues.
Right.
Forsaking the community,
Mm-hmm.
failure to look out for the people of the community, black and white,
Failure to be a mayor.
failure to be a mayor, failure to hire police officers.
Mm-hmm.
He got Steve Loomis, the anchor around
So
his
in other
neck.
words, failure to protect his supposed to be city.
Right, and we had some strict questions. We put out a thing to the police department for their spokesman to come in and talk to us about some stuff. I don't think they're going to turn that call back. We know why.
They
'Cause
scared.
nobody want to answer the tough
They
questions.
scared. Don't nobody
we got
wanna
a thing
answer
out
that, man.
for,
Don't you know
Mayor
this
Jackson?
is STMK 100?
Right, Mayor Jackson.
Keep it 100.
We got a thing out for him, which he hasn't returned to us yet at this time neither.
And he won't.
Okay.
He's scared.
And Eric Brewer's supposed to come on with us, so we're going to ask him this. So this,
Eric, come on in, man.
this is the question what we need to talk about here, Doug.
Mm-hmm.
If they're trying to say that Jeff Johnson, because of his extortion charge, because I don't know how they swept it like that, but they got it swept and they got the news media to come with
Loophole.
them. Okay.
They call that a loophole.
Okay, so why now?
Because he's running for mayor.
But
not only is he running for mayor, he's a viable threat to the mayoral race. So somebody up in there is a scourge.
right, because you know what they really think. And in the chat room, they asked the same question: why now? Thank you, Facebook Live in our 17 cities, and everybody fired up right here.
Haters, that's why.
It is the bottom of the hour. And right now, we want you to stick with us because we're going to go and we're going to go pay us some bills and we're going to be right back.
STMK Radio 100.
Hey, Thirst, can I try out a few Coke Summer sound effects on you? Yes. Cool. You okay with this? Yes. And this? Yes. And what about this? Yes. Ha! Gotcha there, Thirst. That wasn't sound effects. That was a Coke. I'm no longer thirsty. You're so out of here. Coca-Cola, open happiness.
STMK Radio 100, podcasting station that brings you the Stop the Madness, Keep It 100 radio talk show that keeps it real, no sugar. STMK Radio 100 also presents At the Table with Reverend Bill Miller Show. Check out Brother Bill's Bible Study radio broadcast here on STMK Radio 100 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central. STMK Radio 100 does Ustream Live TV, FaceTime, phone interviews, chat rooms, the new emerging artist show, sports talk, dance music shows, book reading shows, and much more coming very soon right here on STMK Radio 100. Contact us. Visit our website at stmkradio100.com or email us directly at stmkradio100@aol.com. Give us a call at 1-866-484-7865. That's 1-866-484-STMK. Call us now. STMK Radio 100.
Man, I dig inner monologues. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, look, a fillet of fish just sitting here in my mind being all delicious. Hey!
That's my sandwich.
What? How did you get in my inner monologue?
Door's open, give it back.
Man, get your own invisible sandwich.
Any day is a great day for a Filet-O-Fish sandwich. And right now at McDonald's, you can get 2 Filet-O-Fish sandwiches for only $3.33. For limited time only, prices and participation may vary.
STMK Radio 100.
AP Radio News. I'm Ed Donahue. The ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, Elijah Cummings, says former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn was warned when he retired from the military not to take foreign government-sourced money without advanced approval from the Pentagon. Cummings says Republicans are not helping investigate Flynn or anyone else tied to President Trump.
I mean, if they spent 1,000th of the time going after Trump, President Trump, that they spent Hillary Clinton, he'd be in big trouble.
President Trump says he is going to renegotiate the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. He has been critical of that trade deal.
If I'm unable to make a fair deal, if I'm unable to make a fair deal for the United States, meaning a fair deal for our workers and our companies, I will terminate NAFTA.
The top Republican in the House says he's not ready to call a vote yet on a revised health care bill. Here's the AP's Sagar Magani.
The White House is pushing for a vote to score a big legislative win in the president's first 100 days.
We want to go when we're ready to go.
House Speaker Paul Ryan tells reporters he'll set a vote when he has enough votes. A conservative bloc that sunk the first health bill is on board with the revised version, though some moderates are not. Top House Democrat Nancy Pelosi says they should all be mindful that voting for the bill is voting to make the nation sicker.
The minute they cast that vote, they put doo-doo on their shoe.
She says the president's forcing them to walk the plank for nothing. Sagar Magani at the White House.
Israel's military says it deployed its Patriot missile defense system to intercept a projectile incoming from Syria above the Golan Heights. The commander of the U.S. Pacific Command, Admiral Harry Harris, told the Senate committee the crisis in North Korea is at its worst point he's ever seen. A man carrying a bag of knives was arrested near the British Parliament. Police say he is suspected of planning terrorist acts. Some modest gains on Wall Street. The Dow is up about 13 points. This is AP Radio News. Police in Joliet, Illinois, say the mother of 1.5-year-old girl is refusing to talk. The girl's body was found inside their home. Deputy Chief Rick Ackerson says the conditions in the girl's home were very bad.
The attorney for the family described most of the people that live in the residence, other than the 3 kids and the mother, as squatters.
An autopsy will be performed today to determine a cause of death. Flight controllers at NASA regained contact with the Cassini spacecraft. The AP's Marcia Dunn reports it has amazing pictures of its trip between Saturn and its rings.
There's a giant swirling hurricane on the North Pole of Saturn, and this was the closest look we've had yet of this monstrous storm. You can definitely see the eye. The eye takes up a good part of the picture, actually. That's how close up this picture is.
21 more crossings around Saturn are planned for Cassini. I'm Ed Donahue, AP Radio News.
You're listening to Stop the Madness. Keep it 100 with your host, Sean L., Let, and Tone the Stone on STMK Radio 100, 100, 100, 100.
Welcome back to Stop the Madness. Keep it 100. And Denver's in the house. Welcome there, Denver, Colorado, to Facebook Live. We're going to be talking about our Cleveland Browns. You know they got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to be broadcasting and simulcasting up to Philadelphia live for the NFL experience. And all that's coming in. But we was talking about before our break, Jeff Johnson, and we got a statement from Jeff Johnson, and I want to put his statement out there. Jeff Johnson contends that he legally is holding office and that the challenge is an attack by someone who wants to hurt his character.
I wonder who that might be.
I wonder who that is, too, because, you know, when we was at City Hall last week, when they failed to activate the $10 million 911 reverse system, and we was talking about that, everybody was talking about Kumbaya. So why all of a sudden now they want to cut Jeff? I don't understand that.
Frank Jackson, what's his name? Yeah, Frank.
Yeah, you know it's Frank. It got to be Frank.
I'm going to say it.
Right.
The name of the show is Keep It
100. It's got to be Frank.
And I'm going to tell you, ain't nobody, it's not none of the candidates, because, I mean, they all lobbying for a position.
Right.
They all worried about their own thing. It couldn't be but 1 or 2 people, and my vote is for, not for mayor, but Frank Jackson.
But, see, Jeff
Lane.
Jeff need to stand up and come out more on issues, because we tried to get Eric here. Okay,
yeah, come on in, Eric.
Now, when we tried to get Eric here, Eric was supposed to join us, and the question I want to know is, and I got for all the candidates, and I'm gonna keep it real that the news media is not going to ask them. Police reform. What you gonna do for police reform?
Right.
What are you gonna do for police accountability?
Right. I got a question for him too.
What are you gonna do about East Cleveland?
That's what I want to know. What you going to do about housing? What are you going to do about putting people in houses?
At work, our neighborhoods.
Yes.
Putting more police officers on the street.
Oh, please.
There's 1,001 questions that nobody asked. What you going to do about all the bikes running through the streets?
Well,
we just talked about South Carolina.
Those are not the issues, sir.
Well,
those are not the issues. Those aren't the issues that we're
Oh,
concerned
no.
with.
Did you say that?
Yeah, I just did.
Oh, no. Did you say
that's got to be wild. Those are not the issue. But then to go back to here, Jeff says that when he had his record expunged, it wasn't challenged by the prosecutor's office, which means they allowed it to be expunged.
They allowed it to happen.
Right,
That's
they
right.
allowed it to happen. And that's an issue that everybody has to understand right there is that he was not charged with bribery, nor was he convicted of bribery.
He was charged with
extortion.
Extortion, which is different. It wasn't treason because he's still here.
Now,
it wasn't bribery, but it was extortion.
So now
we're talking about extortion, man.
So now we're gonna have to answer this one question. How do you think the court's gonna rule, Doug?
I think they're gonna rule in his favor.
I do too.
I think they're gonna rule in his favor.
Most of the lawyers that we talked to and most of the people that we talked to on that issue did say that extortion and bribery under the state charter was two different things.
Right. Plus, you got to look at the facts. He was convicted. He took his punishment. He did what he was supposed to do, and he had it expunged.
But it doesn't make a difference under state law for bribery. See, that's the kicker part right here. When we was at the council meeting, I wish I'd have known the guy that gave an interview. We tried to get him on the show to give an interview, but he did give us a statement. And his statement was that he was challenging Jeff Johnson's right to sit in the seat of counsel for the people. But my question to him was, why he didn't accept our request to come on the show, why now?
Right.
Why didn't you do this when he was running for his council seat?
Exactly. Why didn't you do it beforehand?
Why
wait till after the fact that the man is already? See, that's what I'm saying. It's
when he kicked Miller. When Miller was running for his seat, they should have challenged it because there's a lot of questions. We're going to put out a request for
that's how I know it
for
came
Steve
from
Loomis to come on the show
Frank
because
Jackson's
there's a lot of questions for Steve Loomis that we want to talk about on police accountability and to come back. That I do know at the city forum they're going to have a debate.
Okay.
That the mayoral candidates have to answer. Okay.
Yeah.
And we got a list of questions, and if they don't answer those questions, that's why I keep telling everybody about Eric. Eric is going to take them to those questions.
He's going to pull it on the table.
And the question is,
he's going to keep it 100.
What are you going to do about police reform? What about East Cleveland? What about the
Jobs,
neighborhoods?
The communities?
The safety issue of trying to do more with less?
Yep.
Okay. And this goes back to I said this at the last reform we had. It goes back to trying to parade Calvin Williams and them around, okay, saying that because you got a black face, and I'm going to say this, okay, and everybody got mad last time.
Hello, my baby.
Just because we have a black
darling.
chief does not make it okay for our city to be ran the way it's being ran.
Right.
Okay.
Nor does it make it okay for the mayor to parade him around and constantly shoving his face
Well,
in
my
TV
question was,
so he can say Black Lives Matter.
Right. But my question was, it goes back to, and I'm going to say this again, our city charter is set up on a scale of 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
When did the chief of police become more important than our safety director?
Exactly.
We're paying $120,000 for a safety director who don't even come out and tell the citizens what's going on. He's responsible.
That's because he's doing less with more.
No, that's because they want a black face in the community.
Exactly.
If
he's
they put
doing less with more.
if they put McGrath out here with all the stuff that's going on, okay, McGrath, the mayor
got
be
all
gone.
this money. Let's just put Sambo on TV and get it over with.
That's what's going on.
Let's. You got to give the people what they want.
Well, we're gonna have to ask Eric those questions because Eric is gonna come to the show.
He'll answer them.
Right, he will answer.
I have no doubt in my mind that man will sit right here in this chair and he will answer those questions. Then he will oppose some questions to his counterparts that's running against him.
And as soon as we get him on there, that's going to be a great show because the questions that we had for Jeff Johnson and that we got right now for Mayor Jackson and Eric Brewer and Koskowski, the millionaire that's running, the Russian millionaire that's running. Okay. How are you going to protect our cities? You got to increase the police protection. That means hire more officers.
Number one, that's the first start.
The
That's the first
the
start.
second thing is they're going to have to come out to the community, and they're going to have to get the community behind the police department. Okay.
Right.
And the biggest issue right here that I'm hearing, especially after the council meeting, is with Steve Loomis. People wants the city to drop blinding arbitration. That's going to be a city ordinance coming up.
Okay.
That's part of the police reform, so everybody better get used to this. If you're a clean police officer right now, or you're a member of the CPPA, FOP, look for binding arbitration to come out of your contract. Okay?
That's just the way it is.
The second thing is that everybody's going about, and I was in the meeting, I was sitting at the council meeting, and I don't see nobody from the police department there, no union people there, and the people in the communities talking about your faith, but you're not attending the meetings with the community. That's shocking.
That's shady.
Because the second thing is that's going to come into life is no union official will be able to conduct union business on taxpayers' money.
Ooh.
Okay? What that means is, by me being a clean police officer, I understand exactly what they're saying. What they're saying is, if you're going to do union business, you're going to work a zone car for your 8 hours to the taxpayers,
Right.
and then you're going to do your union business, and the union's going to pay you like you're working a part-time job. You're not going to get paid.
You're not going to get
Okay.
paid.
And that's
union dues for not doing non-union work.
business, right? And that's a big issue. Like I said, I'm going to reach out to Steve Loomis and try to get him on at least do a phone interview with us on our show to talk to him about those issues, because those issues right there
are important.
It's going to come back.
The questions need to be answered.
And I already know one candidate's answers to those issues because he faxed them to us. Okay. But it's not proper for me to put them out there.
Right.
Okay.
And it ain't necessary.
Without him being on the telephone
There you go.
or sitting in the chair in the
this
studio.
chair right here.
That way you can hear it for himself. The other issue that's coming up on police accountability that everybody really has to worry about if you're a clean police officer is that now the one person in the community, they no longer want the city prosecutor to make a ruling on any use of force or any case. They want it automatically to go before a judge and let a judge make that
That ain't the city
ruling.
prosecutor's job.
Well, the one candidate says that the prosecutor can't do two things. He can't.
You can't be a prosecutor and
defend the city
Right.
Against lawsuits. You can't do them
Right.
both. You
Yeah,
can't wear the two
no,
hats. You remember who
no.
said that, but we ain't gonna say his name.
Wait,
So that's the question right there with Jeff Johnson.
Did the sassy man show up yet? Because I still got questions.
No, the man didn't come in because he didn't show up. But we didn't have that question about the chase. So hold that question. In case he do come into the chat room.
I got a question for the sassy man.
Because the chat room talking about the Browns and the Cavs.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about them Cavs.
So we're going to move on up to our next thing because in the next hour, we're going to Philadelphia with the NFL experience, and we're going to be broadcasting live from Cleveland about our Cleveland Browns and their 2017 draft.
Oh, boy,
but let's just go right here, Doug. I'm going to have to ask you this question because personally in the chat room, I'm going to use John Michaels right here states that we're going to use you, John Michaels, so thank you for coming with us in the chat room. The Cavaliers show signs of struggling. Even though they won the series, their defense was bad.
Whatever, man. Whatever, man.
So I'm going to ask you this question.
Whatever, man.
Our Cavs are sitting at home right now for almost, a week?
No, they're not. They're not sitting at home. The Cavs went back into practice as of yesterday.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Toronto owned them and gave them a hard time during the season.
During the regular season.
Milwaukee and them tied 2-2 with them during the season.
During the regular season.
So this rest ain't going to hurt our Cavs.
This rest is not going to hurt their Cavs because it was not that long of a rest. Plus, you got to understand why the Cavs were getting that little bit of rest. These other teams are beating up on one another. But that ain't even what I want to talk about. See, y'all want to dance around the issues and ask stupid questions and talk about
we ain't got there
what
yet.
seemed to be happening.
Okay, so tell us about it.
They seem to be struggling.
Okay, wait.
Chicago really seemed to be struggling. Indiana, their struggles are over. Yeah? Okay, so let's talk about it.
Mildred is in the house with
What's
Chi
up,
Town.
Mildred? What's
Chi
up,
Town's here.
Chi-Town?
So we going
to the white meat.
We going wait a
to
minute.
the white
We
meat.
going right back to the
the white meat.
conversation we
Isaiah
had.
Thomas owns
So,
Chicago.
Yes. So who do you want?
What?
Who do you want?
It don't matter who we get. Let me tell you something. I said this before. I'm going to say it again. I've said this time and time and time again, even before the Cavaliers won the champions. And for all of y'all to keep forgetting out there, and yes, I'm going to get vulgar with this. I got 2 words for all of y'all in the NBA world. Cavs, bitches. Just that simple. But I've said this time and time and time and time again. There's nobody in the Eastern Conference during the playoffs that can handle the Cavaliers in a 7-game series. It is not regular basketball season. This is playoff season.
So Milwaukee or Toronto, we ain't got to worry about.
Bring them on, bro.
Bring them on.
Bring them on. Now, don't get it wrong. It may be a more interesting series. They may win 2, even 3 games. But y'all fail to realize that my Cavaliers, they once again went to the history books, came back from 26 points down
Yeah, that
in
was
the
a good comeback.
playoffs.
Yeah, but
And my boy hit 41 points and got a triple-double.
But in Sunday's game, LeBron James hit that 3-pointer with 68 seconds left.
Pow.
And
that's what he do.
You know that is something with James. But the question is, they showed a little weakness there. Now, come on, now you got
They didn't show no
their defense
weakness.
looked a little bad.
Their defense didn't look a little bad. Now, their defense is not all the way to where it's supposed to be, but y'all, some of you fly-by-night Cleveland fans and you haters in Chicago.
But was they supposed to struggle against a number 7 team like that?
You know what? Any given team on any given day, okay? Any given team on any given day. Look how well Chicago was looking at first in the beginning of the series. Then last night, Isaiah Thomas absolutely owned them.
But let me tell you what the national news
But
is on
getting back to it, y'all have to realize this is the first round of the playoffs. Okay, maybe they weren't supposed to have such a so-called struggle, but how much of a struggle was it really? They got swept. They got done.
But
in 4
the first
games.
game ended on a missed shot now.
Plus, doesn't matter. A win is a win. Is a win. Is a win.
But round 2's gonna be harder.
We got round 2 gonna be a little harder.
Round 2's
and we're
gonna
gonna dig a little deeper, and we're gonna do what we gotta do to get to round 3. We are the NBA world defending champions.
Let me just say this.
This is just the first round.
But you got to keep an eye on the winner of the next series. I'm just going to have to really say this to set this up.
You talking about Boston or Chicago?
No, between forget Boston, Chicago. We talking about Toronto and Milwaukee. We talking about our Cavs. We ain't left them yet to go into the national stuff yet. But you have to keep an eye on the winner of this series.
I'm keeping an eye on the whole thing.
Because whoever likely to play the Cavaliers, whether it be Toronto or Milwaukee,
right? It's gonna be
tougher
wait a minute.
Series. Don't be surprised if they upset the Cavs. See, I'm coming back on the side. I'm going into the chat room, coming back on the side because you already swapping that broom, so we don't have to worry about that.
No, I ain't bringing the broom out for the second round.
But
I didn't bring the broom out for the first round.
Due to the I'm gonna say this, due to the play of Toronto and Milwaukee, especially in the first in regular season, okay, because we all know we in new world now, okay, we understand that. A best of 7 go anyway.
Best of game 7.
But they had a lot of success against the Cavs.
They did have a lot of success.
And that's what this what brings up people's courage when you're playing the champions and you have that type of success.
Right.
You're not scared of
just because you got the courage don't mean you're gonna walk away with the W. And see what people fail to realize. Okay, people now there is a huge difference. I am not the baseball fan. I am not the football fan. I am not the hockey fan. I am not the big boxing fan. I am a huge basketball fan.
But let me ask you this question.
No, before you ask me that question, you got to understand this. During the regular season, there's a certain type of play. When you enter into the playoffs, you are not playing this team rest in the day, going over here playing this team, going over here playing that team. You're playing one team for 7 games during a season where you play every other day. At the most, you get 2 days rest. There's time to sit back, reheal, readjust, let the coaches do what
But
they got to do.
you ain't gonna have that
watch
in the
the
playoffs
film.
because you either got to bring it or leave it.
You have that in the playoffs. After game 1, if you lose game 1, you got to sit back. You got to make the adjustments for game 2.
But let me say this.
It's a 7-game
Okay, but let me
series.
say this to you right here. Since I'm gonna come back into the chat room because the chat room has already told us that, so I'm gonna look at this right here. The Cavs had problems with Paul, and that was just one person. Toronto got 3 that can come on at any given night.
The Cavs they had problems with Paul. But then what happened? They shut Paul down.
But I'm going back again. You got DeMar DeRozan.
My goodness.
Okay.
Big deal.
You got Kyle Lowry.
Okay.
All of them good 3-point shooters. Good.
We got LeBron. We got Kyrie. We got Shump.
But they're struggling on defense.
Korver. You know what? They're not struggling on defense. Their defense was a little lacking. Again, as we go further, see, that's what I'm saying. Champions stand up and win basketball games. They do what they got to do to put that W in the column.
What about you look at Chris Middleton? He's going to be on the boards. I mean, the Cavs going to have to play.
Is he a champion? I'm not
saying
they're not going to have to play.
I'm gonna say
they don't just show up and win these games, bro.
I understand it. Wait a minute. Don't nobody just show up and win the game because we talking about they are professionals now.
It's not like there's somebody sitting in the background saying, "Okay, LeBron and them coming, so they're gonna win some."
They are professionals. You got to bring.
They're all professionals, and you got to bring it. And I'm not. Listen, I was the first one to say that the first round, I said, it's going to go 6 games. Okay. I was amazed to see it go in 4. I was the first one. I wish I could have my coworker sitting next to me because we watched the game while we were at work on the big screen. And I said, man, first thing I said to him after game 1 and game 2, man, we're going to have to step our damn defense
We're going to see this again because we want to know one here, go up one. LeBron James, can he continue to score 26.4 points per game and keep that high? To keep that high up.
He don't have to. You got to look at the depth of the team. Now, can LeBron continue to show up night after night?
But Kevin Love didn't show up now. We got stats.
encourage the rest of his team. Okay, but Kevin Love is one person.
When LeBron went out, hold on, we got
we
stats.
won a game with Kyrie sitting on the bench.
Well, Kyrie the man. I think that.
But y'all fail to realize that on a night when Love didn't show up, we won a game with Kyrie sitting on the bench.
So let's go here right here because Golden State is sitting at home.
And y'all gonna get off Love.
They beat Portland.
Golden State got problems of their own.
Right, they beat Portland, but they stacked the deck. Now this is where I want to go. Well, Utah and
let me say this about the Golden
Clippers.
State Warriors. Kevin Durant is not all the way healthy. A lot of people fail to realize that, and at any given moment, I don't care how much you stack a deck. Fundamental basketball, any team sport, fundamentals is going to be out. If you can stack it with all the superstars you wanted to, and it's been proven time and time again. Fundamentalism is going to be.
So who you see taking them? San Antonio? Because San Antonio's the only one I see that can stand in the way of Golden State.
San Antonio going to put a beating on Golden State. Even if they don't win the series, they're going to beat them. They're going to break their spirits. And by the time they get back to the Cavaliers, because it will be the Cavaliers in the finals again, because we will, like we have done before. And we have more of a fire now that we've won a championship.
So
this is not over for us.
Who you think we're going to play in the finals? I'm going to ask this question right here. Do you think it's going to be Washington Wizards or
Washington
Boston?
Playing some ball.
Right, because Cavs had problems with
Washington, again, in the regular season.
But we ain't even got up there yet. So let's go back over here to the West, because I want to go back to the West before we go up in here and tie in. Houston won their series. So who do you think they're going to take? Utah, or do you think the Clippers going to come over? Because Utah leading 3-2, but that may go a 7-game series.
That may go a 7-game series, and in my opinion, the Clippers is kind of shaky.
Because, the Clippers, since their main guy went down.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't showed up. That's like with Chicago. You know, Chicago, and I'm gonna have to say this, Chi-Town, because everybody breaking on you, and he want to get some of you anyway. And I'm gonna have to say,
Chi-Town, bring it on.
anything.
What can you say to me? You're getting spanked.
You
You getting spanked. You ain't even made it yet. Shut up, Chi-Town. Open up the white meat. Let me have it.
So you look at this. Chicago was up 2-0, and then they just
got owned.
The bottom fell.
Got owned. The bottom didn't fall out. They got frustrated, and the next game, their spirits is gonna get broke. That's what happened to bad teams like Chicago.
So will the ATL? I'm gonna say this too. Will
Atlanta?
Will Washington close Atlanta out Friday?
Yep.
Because tonight,
Wizards playing ball.
Tonight, Toronto is playing Milwaukee, and the winner of that game may come see our Cavaliers.
And see, when you talk about Toronto and Milwaukee, you have to almost, and don't get it twisted out there in the chat room. You have to almost look at them cats like they a West Coast type team, because them boys play ball. Them boys play ball, and either one of them are good opposition for the Cavaliers. But again, I've said it before, I said it again, and y'all can see me at the end of the season when we holding up that second trophy.
We're going to hold you to your statement.
Y'all going to definitely hold me to it. Y'all can say whatever you want.
You remember that Brady jersey you had?
You know what? I ain't worried about that.
Mr. Rogers?
I'm not even worried about Mr. Rogers. You know what? Mr. T, Mr. Rogers, the Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Mike Tyson.
Who's coming out the West? Who's coming out the West?
Man, of course, Golden State is coming out the West.
So it's going to be for the third time. It's going to be.
I believe it's. I don't know who's going to come out the West, but I believe the finals in the West is going to once again be the San Antonio Spurs and the Golden State Warriors. Flat out.
Okay, let's call the championship right now.
Let's call the championship right now. The Cavs
No. I'm talking about who they.
LeBron is crying one more time. They're holding him up on his shoulders.
Who if the Cavs get there, who they gonna play?
San Antonio.
Oh, so you saying San Antonio and the Cavs? We're not gonna have another three-peat.
Nah. Golden State. See, sometimes what people don't understand in basketball, and this has been proven over history, it's not number one. This is not our grandfather's sport anymore. I'm sorry. This is not the Dr. J era no more. This is not the Michael Jordan era anymore. This is an era of trade and stacking the deck. And it's been proven over history that sometimes when you stack the deck against yourself, because things happen.
Well, Pat Riley might agree with you, because he spent a lot of money and it got him a lot of things. Right.
Point and case. It got him a lot of things except, gonna say it. It got him a lot of things except.
Well, he got a championship out of it, but not what he wanted out of it.
Exactly.
He wanted 5 championships to be the best.
Exactly. But it didn't work out that way because he stacked the deck too much. And when you talking about these young boys, when you talking about what I like to call grown ass little boys, because that's what they are. These guys are paid astronomical amounts of dollars.
Who gonna step up for LeBron?
Who gonna step up for LeBron?
Last year was Kyrie.
Last year was Kyrie.
So who is
but
gonna be?
Here's the deal. Who's gonna step up for LeBron and Kyrie? Because Kyrie, man,
who gonna step up from the bench? That's what I'm asking you.
Who gonna step up from the bench?
Come on, Jim Jones, tell us who gonna step up.
It's gonna be J.R. Smith. It's gonna be J.R. Smith is gonna step up on the offense, and it's gonna be Shump gonna step up immensely on the defense.
Okay.
On the defense, and I mean, dude, and you got, not only do we have a bench, but we got a third string of boys that can play.
So Tuesday,
this is a blue collar town. We got hard working boys. Next Monday or Tuesday,
the Eastern Conference round 2.
Whenever Boston get finished spanking Chicago and shut them out and close them out, and I know it's not over yet, Chi-Town, but y'all can go ahead and put y'all jerseys away for next year. And look at me. I'm not one of them fly-by-night fans. Y'all don't see me running around. And yes, I got a throwback. I got a way back.
Where is it at?
It's at the house. I treat my jerseys like trophies. I even got a LeBron James jersey that I got from the man himself. I got a Larry Nance jersey.
You're not gonna be burning when Toronto put it on them, right?
No, bro. Okay. That's how I got my LeBron jersey, because some of y'all may have seen it. I was on Fox Sports Ohio, and I was on Fox Sports Talk Ohio, and I was also on ESPN's Not So Top 10, because during draft when we got Kyrie, it was a dare by my son, and I had my entire head and face painted wine and gold, and I wore my LeBron James jersey that I had bought. This was after everybody else, and one of the guys asked me, why didn't you burn your jersey? I said, well, number one, I ain't got $75 to burn up like these little yuppies running around here, and I'm a diehard fan, and LeBron's gonna come back.
Well, we're gonna leave that right there. Hopefully the Cavs
get at me, Shot
no,
Town.
tonight,
Get
Shot
at me,
Town.
Indiana.
You got a serious issue right there. You might get swept. Washington getting ready to take on ATL. ATL might have a problem. Sybil, welcome in the city of Cleveland in the house on Facebook
Sybil.
with us. YouTube Live. Right now, we're going to take this break, and when we come back, we're going to be patching up the Philadelphia for the NFL draft.
Hey, did you hear about the 7th annual Getting Smart in the Park event?
Yes, I heard this year's Getting Smart in the Park event will focus on combating hunger and food shortages. They're going to kick off with tips and information about home gardening.
Getting Smart in the Park will also present an array of self-empowerment and awareness resources, as well as opportunities for local business startups and advancement, employment, and higher learning. They'll also enhance their effort to connect the unemployed to available employment in an attempt to reduce violence and crime.
Don't forget about the expose of vendors, food and refreshments, wares and information, games and entertainment. Sounds like lots to do and plenty of fun. Everyone's invited.
That's not all.
Right. This year's Getting Smart in the Park event will feature a 2017 Ram truck giveaway, along with 10 other great prizes.
Getting Smart in the Park is a nonprofit communities outreach presented by the Powerhouse SARC, a branch of the House of Prayers Ministries.
Don't miss Getting Smart in the Park.
Saturday, May 6, 2017, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Cleveland's Luke Easter Park, 3090 Martin Luther King Boulevard. See you there!
Stop the madness. Keep it 100. The best talk show on the web is here on STMK Radio 100 with your hosts, Sean L., Let, and Tone the Stone. Come join us from 6 to 8 p.m. Mondays through Fridays. Stop the madness. Keep it 100 with live call-ins, heated discussions about current events, politics, national news, weather, and sports. Join our live online chat room and let your opinion show. Download our phone app. Stop the madness. Keep it 100 on STMK Radio 100. Come join us from 6 to 8 p.m. Mondays through Fridays. The best talk show on the web is here on STMK Radio 100. Call us at 1-866-484-7865. That's 1-866-484-STMK. Stop the madness. Keep it 100. At the Table with Reverend Bill Miller on STMK Radio 100. Check out Reverend Bill Miller's Bible Study radio broadcast live on the new STMK Radio 100 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please listen in and support him as he joins the realm of broadcasting to encourage believers and offer the comfort of God to others across the airwaves. At the Table with Reverend Bill Miller on STMK Radio 100. Also, feel free to contact him for prayer, counseling, and conversation at brobill9608@yahoo.com. That's BROBILL9608@yahoo.com. At the Table with Reverend Bill Miller on STMK Radio 100. STMK Radio 100. You've been tuned in to Stop the Madness, keeping it 100 on STMK Radio 100. And now back to your host one more time, Sean L., Let, and Tone the Stone.
The draft is now officially open. 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 The draft is now officially open.
Welcome back with us as we tie in now to the 2017 NFL Draft Party. First Energy Stadium. You're on the clock with Stop the Madness and the NFL podcast. You can listen free on SoundCloud or Mixcloud. If you want to see the NFL, you can go to ESPN Draft Night and watch it live on TV. So we are going into this right now in the draft party. We are broadcasting out of Cleveland, Ohio. We are hooked up with Philadelphia.
What up, Philly?
And right now, for all you people, I got my 1964 throwback Jim Brown jersey on for the draft. After this, we're going down to the stadium, and everybody was welcome. Come on down there and watch the Cleveland Browns. Now, the 2017 NFL Draft will be holding its 82nd annual meeting of the National Football League to select newly eligible football players, and it's scheduled to be held today. From the 27th to the 29th in front of Philadelphia Museum in Philly. The teams with the most selections in the drafts are Cincinnati Bengals and your Cleveland Browns.
Your Cleveland Browns.
And Doug, you know that's 11 right there. So
11.
On behalf of Cleveland, Philly, we want to let you know that we're coming. We're coming to take everything right there. The NFL right now has taken podcast sections from around the country right now, and Cleveland was selected as one of them. And Stop the Madness was the one selected from STMK Radio 100. So at this point, we are now podcasting live to Philly, out of Cleveland.
Hey, what's going on? What's good?
Now, right now, the fewest selections for the NFL teams is 6. That's Atlanta and New England, and they're going to select 253 new people. But I want to talk about Doug right here, and I want to say this. We all know that the Cleveland Browns' number 1 pick is going to be Myles Garrett. That's not going to be no big secret right here.
Right.
Not unless. Now I'm going to say this because you know what?
Go on,
Everybody
put it out
everybody been talking about this. No, I'm not going to say this right now. I'm going to hold it for a minute.
You're going to hold it for.
But you know, Cleveland, Ohio, when it comes, you know, we had the first pick, and we had LeBron James. Remember that?
LeBron James.
We got another hometown boy. He ain't from. He's a Cardinal, but he's not my Cardinal. So that's why I ain't pushing him out there. You know, he ain't a Shaw High Cardinal. If he was a Shaw High Cardinal, you know, I'll be all over this right here. But we have a hometown boy from Mineral, Ohio, Mineral Cardinal, Michael Trubisky, and he is being said to be taken in the number 1 spot in the number 1 draft. I don't think he's going to go number 1. I mean, he's going to go in the first round of the draft, but I don't think he's going number 1.
Well, I do know Philly. They've been talking about this all day here in the land. And that young man is going to go high up in the rankings. And I do believe
he's coming to Cleveland, but he ain't. I don't think he's going to come to the second round.
To the second or third round.
Because, you know, there's a person that I want to look at that everybody's overlooking right now, okay?
Who that be?
And that's O.J. Howard from Alabama. That's another Aaron Hernandez. That's another Grop.
Yeah, well, I hope he not.
I'm talking about skills, okay? see, you know what the problem is right there. You see,
Please don't be another.
We're gonna have to run you out of the station, okay? But when you look at that,
I know you mean skills. I'm just joshing.
O.J. Howard,
he's a beast.
That's who the Browns should take in the 12th round pick. And in the chat room, I want y'all to join us and tell us, because right now, Cleveland right now should be live. Downtown should be jumping. First Energy Stadium should be overflowing.
Should be jumping right now
because we got 11 picks, and we got 2 in the first round. Okay, and for everybody that don't know anything about the 2017 draft, this is the order that's going to be taken: the Cleveland Browns, San Francisco 49ers, the Chicago Bears, Jacksonville Jaguars, Tennessee Titans, New York Jets, San Diego Chargers, Carolina Panthers, Cincinnati Bengals, Buffalo Bills, New Orleans Saints, and the Cleveland Browns, who took the number 7 pick from Philadelphia. So we got the number 1 pick, and we going in the 12th spot also.
Wow.
So I'm gonna say this though. I would like to see Mike Mitchell. That's his name. I called him Mike, but everybody correct is Mitchell Trubisky. I like to see him come home, but if I have a choice of Deshaun Watson between him and Deshaun Watson, I'm gonna have to go with Deshaun. Okay.
Why?
Because I just loved what he did, the way the boy played, and
he can play.
Stuff, okay.
He can play. He got some skills. I'm just excited.
And what he did to Alabama.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. See. He did something right now. See, everybody keep talking about he ain't pro ready. I think he's not. He over pro ready, because you know what? It takes a person.
How they know he not pro rated? He ain't made it to the pros.
Right,
yet.
but it takes a person.
Out.
It takes a person to see that's hungry. That's what we need. Hungry people. Okay, we need a young man who just won a national championship and got in his mind.
We need somebody that has, exactly like you said, has that mindset that I'm gonna go out there and I'm get it. I'm hungry enough to get it. Want some. Get some bad enough. I'm coming to take.
And the Browns got this going on. Round 1, they got 2 picks. Round 3 and 4, they got 1 pick. Round 5, they got 3 picks.
Man, that's lovely.
Round 6, they got 2 picks. So they not, if they can't get everybody they need in the first 6 rounds, and I hope, if you remember this too, I hope whoever's upstairs making those calls, if LaShawn McCoy there or another Tom Brady there, don't pass on. Pull them
Please
up. Don't pass them over. Because you know we had a chance to get Tom Brady and LaShawn McCoy and all them. We passed over them.
We also had Bill Belichick, who some people would like to believe quit, that we fired.
Well, yeah, you fired Belichick. We did that the last show on that. What y'all did to Belichick? Okay,
y'all.
And how
I didn't do
and,
nothing. You know
and
what?
how y'all moved the moving van up in the middle of
Once
the night on
again,
Lakeside to stole my
once again.
team and took and wait, tried to take my colors from me and everything.
Karma's a
Okay,
beast, ain't
okay.
it? Karma's a
We
beast.
know about that.
You know what? Rest in heaven, Art Modell, but karma's a beast, ain't it? I mean, karma's a beast because I mean the Ravens, who were really the Cleveland Browns, they won the Super Bowl that year.
Well,
But
that's
he
our
did
farm
that
team.
nonsense.
See, everybody
Exactly.
don't really realize. I think what the NFL should have did when the Ravens won. Remember last week I had 2 weeks ago I had when
Yeah.
when the Ravens won, they should have took that trophy and just brought it right here to
They,
Cleveland.
yeah, they should
and gave
because
it to
that
us.
wasn't a true Super Bowl because I mean that was the Cleveland Browns, man. It was just they was just wearing different colors and
Right.
it was in a different state. That's all. But you know, I'm really excited about this draft this year. Although I'm not a huge football fan, I am Mr. Basketball. I am not a huge football fan, but I'm excited for the team because right now, the 216 we're on fire. We're on a high. Our baseball team is clicking on all cylinders. Our
Baseball,
basketball
don't talk
team.
about the Indians because the Indians may take us back to another World Series and
See
get it right this
and
time.
that's what I'm saying. We clicking. The Indians are clicking on all series. The Cavaliers are still in their winning ways. And I mean, you know, this is like the missing piece to a puzzle.
That we need that. We need
and,
that
and
puzzle.
we need that. And a lot of people do forget
need
that our Cleveland Browns here in the land, they are the youngest team in the NFL, and it's only a matter of time. As long as we continue to do what we need to do and not implode and restructure our front office and restructure our team, because in the past our teams, our GMs and our coaches and owners have had the intentions, but then they panic and they implode and they restructure the whole team,
So-
and that's not the right thing to do. I think that now we have a winning formula. We have an owner who wants a winning team, who wants to be here. We have an owner who's allowing the coach, and then we have a coach and a coaching staff that are being allowed to do their job. And now we just got to put a team together.
Well, we're gonna do that.
We just got to put a team together, and that's my point exactly. And now we're at a point and an angle
But you
where
remember-
we actually can put
Remember
the
before
necessary
remember
pieces
before the
together.
end of the season, we had this talking. Mr. Rogers had to come see us.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers
So
had to come
so we
see
I'm gonna
y'all.
ask you this question again that we asked you at the end of the season. Remember, because you know I was on the Deshaun Watson kick.
Yeah, you
okay,
was
because
way back
I'm
then.
really hurt that they ain't taking my boy number
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Okay, but you said we had to do so when they take Myles Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which is the end pass rush. So that means our defense is going to automatically shoot
Go
up
to another level.
It's going to go to another level.
Uh-huh.
Ohio State got some good people like the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do we stay since we took defense first? Do we automatically go to the offense?
Not necessarily.
Because you know,
Not necessarily.
Marshawn Lattimore, he's a hell of a corner.
Yeah.
So if we get a inline passer, shouldn't we maybe get us a closed corner?
It'd be nice.
Then I mean, you know, championships are won with defense.
That's right.
Look at Chicago.
That's right.
Chi-Town, I got your back right here, okay? So you can take his head a little bit, you know.
You can't take
remember
nothing.
Chicago.
You can't take nothing from me, Chicago.
Okay,
You better
so-
go in the corner and lick your wound somewhere.
So,
y'all better be glued to the TV.
oh, let me ask you this question right here. Okay, we got Myles Garrett.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Jonathan Allen, the defensive end, from Alabama. I mean, so do we get off defense and go to offense, or are we going to try to put both
No,
in
not
and
with
out?
not with the picks that we got and the amount of not with the amount of picks that we have and the position that we're in.
Okay, wait a minute. But let me say this. I'm going to bring it back in because I want you to think for a minute right here. Defense. Reuben Foster, linebacker, best linebacker in the league, okay?
Why you got to make it so hard?
Because I want you to think about this because I'm going to make it harder for you, okay? If we're going to go to offense, the 12th pick, because I don't think any of the people I'm naming, I don't think they're going to even be around to the 12th pick.
No.
Okay.
No,
So
clearly
so,
not.
So the question here is, if they are around, do we pass them to get a quarterback, or do we pass them to get somebody when you got this quality still sitting here? Okay, that's where I'm leading to. That's where I'm leading to.
You do
okay?
not.
So Ohio State got another guy right there. That's we're gonna go back to defense. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
The safety, Malik Hooker.
Malik Hooker. Oh my God.
He's going in the first round pick. Because Ohio State, boy, let me tell you something about Ohio State. Ohio State putting out some products. I don't know what's going to happen when they come back. They got some products coming to the NFL that is going to be awesome. So
they are a very underrated team, in my opinion.
So I'm going to ask you this again, Doug. Let's go back here because all these people I named is top quality players, and they just below. If they're behind Garrett, it's only a half. You know what I mean? It's not like they 3 steps down by a half step. So do you if this type of quality,
I say we have to press our luck, bypass the quarterback, and get that defense together.
And I want to ask you this other one. Defensive end from Stanford, Solomon Thompson.
Throwing somebody else in the mix?
Solomon Thompson. That's right. I'm going to go to Solomon Thompson. Those are 8 players right there that I just named that are quality #1 pick players.
And we got how many picks?
2.
We got 2 in the first round.
2 in the first round.
2 in the first round.
So they're going to be there before Mitchell is. So on the 12th pick, do we decide that should we pass up some talent like this is on the thing? And Facebook and YouTube and the chat room, I see the chat room's already fired up saying.
Not if they still there.
And I see the chat room already saying what you just saying. If that talent's there of the people that you named, go get it. But this is what Jason from the chat room has said. I'm going to go back to this. Jason says that the 49ers would take Marshall Lattimore with the 2nd pick. He also is saying that the Chicago Bears would take Jonathan Allen, and the Jaguars would take, and I didn't even mention this guy, but he's mentioned him right here, Jamal Adams, the safety for LSU. I forgot about Jamal Adams. Thank you right there for telling us about Jamal Adams. And he's saying that the Titans would take Reuben Foster with the 5th pick, and Leonard Forte, the running back. I didn't say Leonard Forte as LSU because we didn't go to offense.
We didn't even focusing on offense.
We didn't even focus on offense. We went to defense. He says that he's going to go with the Jets. And Malik Hooker will go to San Diego Chargers. Now, that's some thing. And then he says the Panthers going to take the last guy I mentioned, Solomon. Now, but what I'm saying with the Browns is we getting the #1 pick on defense. So if we pick the #1 pick on defense,
right?
Should we stay on defense and grab us 2 talents? Because with 11 picks, we can outfit the defense to be awesome.
That's what we need to do.
And then,
because again, defense win championships, baby.
So
defense win championships.
This is the
offense merely puts points on the board.
But this is the question for the chat room and everybody else. I already told you what we know who they're gonna pick. But the question is, who would the Browns select with the top pick of the 2000 NFL draft? Now that the deadline for underclassmen to declare has passed, and everybody's sitting there, and Mr. Garrett is begging the Dallas Cowboys to trade up to #1. I'm going to say this right here. If the Browns give up the #1 pick, they better not come back to Cleveland.
They can move to Baltimore. They can't have the colors.
Right, but they can't come back to
move
Cleveland.
to Baltimore. They can't come back here.
But, they saying.
Not if they do something.
They saying, right.
No, no.
They're saying Garrett is a once-in-a-lifetime person, and they're comparing him right now to Julius Peppers. They saying he's the fastest to come off the end like a bullet out of a shotgun. And he rolls so good. I hope they're right.
I hope they're right. I pray they're right. But, I mean.
He's 6'4", 272 pounds. He ran the 40-yard dash in 4.64 seconds.
Damn, he fast.
That's fast. That's a lot of moving meat right there, boy.
Boy, that's like, you know what? That's like a truck. That's like a truck with a turbo on it out there.
41-inch vertical leap.
Man.
And he goes 10 feet, 8 inches in the broad jump.
I do not care.
And this is for all my weightlifters right here. 33 reps with 275 pounds on the bench.
Oh, boy.
So that means he is stock.
He is strong.
So it's going to cost some big money right there.
Yeah. But we got some decisions to make.
Here in Philly, since we broadcasting from Cleveland to Philly on the edition for the Cleveland Browns, Philly, you're in the chat room, so I'm going to ask you this question right here. we know that you have to do some picking. So the top 3 needs of your team that everybody's saying is quarterback, edge rusher, and corner. I think that goes for everybody, even with the Browns right here.
Yes, sir.
Since we're talking for the Browns out in the NFL podcast, I think right here you have to look at this. I think O.J. Howard's going to be our 12th round pick. I'm calling this so you know O.J. Howard
All right, y'all
will
heard
be
it right here
our
on Keep
12th
It
round
100.
pick out of Alabama, the tight end. He's the right player right now. He's a good blocker because I don't see the Browns going tit for tat with the defense, and I think all the good defensive players are going to be gone at that time. And I think that they need to come into the offense and grab that tight end. If Mitchell Progresky is there from Mentor, Ohio, you know he played for the Mentor Cardinals. He's a hometown boy. If he's there in the second round, that's when you go for a quarterback.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I mean, but the quarterback position for the Cleveland Browns is not a stressing thing. It's not that.
And I'm gonna say this right here. I think that if O.J. Howard's not there, that means somebody picking after the Browns made a mistake in the first 10 things. That's where Lattimore or one of the other guys is going to be there.
Right.
And I know they're going to grab him. There's no way you can let that talent pass by and go past. So I know they're going to grab him. But let's look at this right here when we talk about the AFC North and their needs as we enter into our session for Philly on the Browns 2017 draft, and we broadcasting live to Philadelphia from Cleveland, Ohio, Studio 51. The Baltimore Ravens get 7 picks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, their biggest needs is wide receiver, pass rusher, and a corner. And I think that's everybody in our division because that's what they need. Cincinnati Bengals gets 11 picks like the Browns, but their picks are back up a little bit and out of the first round. And we just called that where they was picking at. And I'm going to have to ask this question because Cincinnati is not even in the first 20.
Right, so it ain't even in the mix.
Well, they got the 9th pick, but when you come down with Cleveland coming back on the top of them, they going to have to either go offense or anything. But Cincinnati needs a linebacker, a defensive end, and they need some running backs. Okay, so they get 11 picks. So they're probably going to go offense, but they're going to come back. And then Pittsburgh may need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Because Rosenberg may not come back. They get 8 picks. They need a pass rusher, a linebacker, and a tight end. But Pittsburgh don't come into play until I think the 32nd or the 28th pick. So
ain't no worries there.
No, ain't no worries where they're coming in on us on the top of that.
Only thing I think that we need to worry about here in Cleveland with our draft picks is that our general manager and our front office and those that are involved in making the final decisions on what we do the right thing this time.
Well, let's go back down memory lane. Linda Silly,
not.
welcome in
Let's
Facebook
not.
Live, you too. Thank y'all all for coming on in our social media with us. We're broadcasting to Philly right now for the NFL experience, and we've been selected by STMK Radio 100 to do our podcast on this show, Stop the Madness, Keep It 100. And let's go down memory lane. The last time the Browns...
Let's not.
Yes, I'm going to go back here because the last time the Browns had 3 picks in the second round, they made some big mistakes. Remember, you don't even probably remember who they took, did you? Let's go back there. Do you remember who they took the last time they had them?
No, I don't.
Do you remember defensive end David Vuker of Hawaii?
No, I don't.
And in that draft, guess who they passed up on?
Who?
I just told you earlier.
Tom Brady.
No, I just told you earlier, the second guy.
Who?
LaShawn McCoy of Pittsburgh.
That's right. They sure did.
Now, our guy, David, only played a year with the Browns, and he was only in the league for 3 years. Okay? Now, LaShawn McCoy, we already know what he did and where he went.
Do we have to continue to go down memory lane?
Because you have to remember.
There's enough pain there.
No, because you know what? You learn from history.
Yeah, you learn. I hope that we've learned from history.
You have to
I
remember.
am prayerful and I am hopeful that again.
You have
that
to
our
remember this
GM
also where you passed up at. Rosenberg came out. Tom Brady came out.
and we passed up on all that. We passed up on all
So
that.
let's go back to this. 2012, the Browns had 12 picks.
We have to remember the biggest mistake that the Browns made ever. What's that
2013, the Browns had 5.
5.
2016, the Browns had 6.
Yeah.
2015, they had 12. Last year, they had 14. Wow. Okay. Out of the 14, 3 of them were starters. 10 was backup, and 1's with another team. That's where they stand right now from last year's draft. So, with the history of our draft, I think we're going to really, really, really make it here. Now, who we going to pick? I'm going to go down this line right here with you. And before they yank ourself out of here.
This is our first pick.
Okay, we already know our first pick.
All right.
Myles Garrett's going to be the number 1 pick.
Okay.
Number 12, first round. Who you think they're going to pick?
Quarterback.
Okay, I say.
And they're gonna go with the homeboy.
In the chat room, they saying the Browns need to get some running backs and the quarterbacks because they don't have no O line. Okay, so we're gonna look at the O line, but I think the second pick in the first round, if O.J. Howard's there at the tight end, they're gonna grab O.J. Howard. I'm calling that right now. Okay, O.J. Howard tight end, you're on the clock because the Browns getting you. If he's not taken before the 12th pick in the first round,
He gonna be gone.
Now in the second round, at the 33rd pick, I think they're gonna take Mr. White, cornerback from CSU, Louisiana State, LSU. I think they're gonna take. I think they will take him in the 33rd pick, second round. So I see them taking a defensive end, a tight end, and then taking a corner because I asked you about Malik.
I see him taking a defensive end, a corner, and then a tight end.
So that's what I asked you earlier about Malik, because if Malik is there in the 12th pick,
you gotta get him.
Do we pass him? So
No.
I see that. Okay.
No.
Now, the second pick in the second round at the 52 spot, the 52nd spot, I see them taking McDowell, tight end from Michigan State. Okay, because I see them going.
Yeah, we could use a good tight end.
I see them going defense. And catch where I'm going right here.
Gotta be defensive.
Right, catch where I'm going right here. I see them putting all these young guys on defense, and I see them coming in. Hey, Sue's in the house. Welcome in our social media.
How you
and
doing,
everybody
Sue?
coming in. Facebook Live, YouTube. We're broadcasting live to Philadelphia, and we're talking about our Cleveland Browns. Phillies in the house. ATL's in the house. So let's go to the third round. We only got 1 pick in the third round. And I think that's where we're going to get a quarterback. I'm going to call this one. Okay.
Who you think is going to be?
Joshua Dobbs from Tennessee. He's 6'3", 216, and he got a
pocket quarterback.
Yes, he's a pocket quarterback, and he got an arm. But he's more or less like what would you call what's the guy from Green Bay, Rodgers style?
Rodgers, okay.
Right. He ain't gonna do no running. He ain't gonna be
okay. And I you know what, I can get with that. If the Browns are gonna do what we're predicting they're gonna do, and if they're gonna be defensive minded, I could see them going with a pocket quarterback that's just not gonna run the ball.
Now let's go right here.
We've had enough with that.
Because let's go right here to the fourth round. The fourth round, which is the 108th position pick, I see Eddie Jackson, free safety from Alabama.
Okay.
And I see this coming down like I asked you earlier. If the good picks aren't there, then you come back in and come
and
back
get
on
what you got to
get
get.
what you get.
Get what you got to get, and stay defensive minded. I'm not
Now-
nothing against the offense, man. I mean, we can always spruce the offense up, but we gotta get a defense.
Now somebody was talking O-line, but my prediction is for the Cleveland Brown, we got one defensive end, we got a corner, we got a defensive on the other side, a defensive end. We got a free safety. Now, in the 5th round, in the 145th pick of the 2017 draft, for the Cleveland Browns, smart defensive end from Tulane. He's 6'1", 296 pounds.
What he run in the 40?
And the 40 is, well, they don't have him down. They say 5.24 seconds.
5.24. That ain't too bad, but
you see what they're doing. If they get a bunch of young guys to put them on the D line,
yeah,
they're going to build the D line up. That'll free up some of our linebackers and everything else.
right.
So
right. That'll free up some of the vets to do what they got to do while these young bucks get in there and get it.
right, and as somebody said, they're going to buy a lot of stock in the Tide. Okay, Alabama is coming to Cleveland.
Hey,
but you remember the last guy we
Roll
got.
Tide.
You remember the last guy we got from Alabama? He did good. What first year, and that was it. We're not going to talk about where he's at right now. So let's go to, because they got 3 picks in the 5th round, and let's go to their 2nd pick in the 5th round. That's the 175th position. Langley, cornerback from Lamar University. He's 6'0", 6 feet, 201 pounds, and he run the 40 at 4.43 seconds. So I'm looking at him coming back in and out right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you go to the last round, the 6th round, because these are going to be the last 2 picks for our Cleveland Browns. In the 6th round, if you go there, we're going to talk about this, folks. 6th round, the 185th pick of the 2017 draft.
Boom, boom.
We're going to take senior from Mississippi State, and I believe he's a tight end or something on that end, or a defensive end. They might have that marked wrong. I think he's a defensive end. We're going to have to check on that. Justin Senior, Mississippi State. Anybody in the chat room, check on that for me and tell me who Justin Senior is from Mississippi State. Is he a defensive end or is he a tight end? They got his markings wrong, so it's not really saying right there. He would be the 185th pick for the Cleveland Browns. So I'm looking at defense.
Yeah.
And Philly, defense,
I agree.
defense.
I agree. Defense. Defense win championships.
Now you know the Browns one got Oscar Wilder or whatever his name is from Texas.
Oscar.
Okay, and it's got a $45 million contract, so he gonna have to play.
He gonna have to play his behind on.
He gonna have to play.
He gonna have to play hard. I mean, 45. How much? 45 million.
Right now,
he really gonna.
Now the last pick that we're gonna look at for everybody. I want everybody to know. I want y'all to come down to the First Energy Stadium. The draft is gonna be live on ESPN, and the podcasting is gonna go ahead. Since Cleveland had the first round of the draft, the On the Clock podcast selected us to start first, and we're getting ready to leave Philly in about 3 minutes. And we thank you for allowing us to come on and be part of your show.
Appreciate you, Philly.
And we really appreciate what you did. But for the 6th round, in the 188th position, the Cleveland Brown will pick Elijah McGrew, running back from Louisiana. That's what we need to look at. That's going to be our last pick.
Is he any good?
I don't know. I'm going down the line saying
What's the stats on this cat?
I don't have the stat sheets on him, but I'm pretty sure that
somebody in the chat room pull the stats.
Yeah,
up
we got to put the stats up on them and
quickly.
Look. Now, when we look at the needs for the people that's pulling up with the Browns, The top needs for the Browns know that we need a quarterback, okay? And the Browns took a pass on Carson Wentz. So I'm looking at a guy right now where the coach, as you said, in the front office, the coach ain't giving his hand up, telling everybody what they want to do.
He don't know.
And I'm looking at everybody, looking at this, that I think the Browns going to be pretty good in the draft if we can land some good talent.
And again, I think with the owner that we have now, with the GM that we have, and the front office that we have, and the coach, and the coach being the humble cat that he is, and stepping out of the way and saying, "Listen, I'm gonna let the front office and the GM and those guys that are in charge of making that decision make that decision. I don't know nothing. I'm gonna stay out of the way." I think that's all a good sign, and I'm looking forward to a winning season.
Tonight on ESPN, I want y'all to come and watch the draft. First Energy Stadium. Go down to the draft. Forget basketball because the Cavs ain't playing, so we got a little break right there. I'd like to thank Facebook Live and everybody for coming in with us. Linda Silly, thank you for coming in with us, showing your boy some love. Dave, thank you for joining us again. Sue, thank you for joining us. Michelle Jackson, Boston, Massachusetts, thank you for coming in. You know we love Boston.
Boston.
Marie Lulu from ATL.
Hot Atlanta in the house.
Hey, Michael Wilkins from L.A. Sama, thank you for coming down with us in L.A. And everybody else for showing us all the love. We really appreciate
Philly, thank you.
Philly for giving us a chance to come in and represent our Cleveland Browns and do their draft podcast first. We appreciate all the love being shown. Everybody, I want you to tune in to STMK Radio 100 and look at the draft. But we also want to remind you that, hey, we have some circus tickets. Doug, where's that thing?
We got some circus
tell them about
tickets,
the circus
man.
tickets
Listen,
before they go.
One more time, y'all. This thing has been sponsored by the people who proudly brought you the Ice Capades, the Garden Brothers Circus. And we got free tickets for children from ages 2 to 13 with a paid adult ticket. We want to thank the Garden Brothers for the free tickets for our kids. This circus is going to be Sunday, May 7th at the Cleveland Wolstein Center at 1 p.m. and again at 4 p.m. You can inbox us at STMK Radio 100, our Facebook page, if you want free tickets for your kids.
Take your kids.
Or you can call Sean and get some free tickets, or you can catch me at any bus stop in the city going to my next gig.
This is going to be the last circus with elephants.
This will be the absolute last chance to see a circus with elephants.
And we got
live.
free tickets for your kids, but the adults have to pay. So you know there was a thing right there.
Free is always good. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we want to let you know we thank you for joining us, everybody.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you, and we want everybody to know from Philly, thank you. You're on the clock, and guess what?
The draft is now officially open. The draft is now officially open. The draft is now officially open.
ESPN 2017 draft party is getting ready to start. Thank you, Philly, for showing us some love. Facebook, we'd like to thank you for joining us. YouTube, thank you. If you want to catch us again, you can catch us on SoundCloud. If you want to catch the NFL podcast with the mixture of cities inside, catch On the Clock. And we want everybody to know, Doug.
Fan base is big, I can't lose. Sugar bow down, I'm the next to rule, but I'ma stay on the cool, remain on the under, cause like Andre 3000, your boy's ice cold. Ain't no limit to the gimmicks and ways to make money. No limit to the just to act funny when you get that cake, cause you spit that way. They may love you tomorrow when they hate you today, but yo, that's the way the story goes, so I was told. Following the rainbow down the yellow brick road, please believe at the end ain't no pie to go. Just some platinum beats from the Cleveland streets.
Doug, the Browns is getting ready to rewrite history tonight, and we're going to get a good pick. So why don't you tell our good people what's on your mind?
Hey, Browns, the best of luck to you. Philly, thank you. Chicago, Indiana, shut up. Cleveland Cavs all the way, baby. Hey, y'all come join us next week on STMK 100. Until then, live, love, and laugh.
Hey, I'm your host, Sean L. We'd like to thank everybody for coming on with us and showing us all the love and everything. I want you to come back because guess what? Everything's going digital and we're going to be a hometown specialty. As always, peace, love, and happiness.
You've been listening to Stop the Madness, Keep It 100 on STMK Radio 100.